Okay, so today I'm going to optimize my arts by applying CachyOS to it. So what it essentially does is I'm going to install the optimized CachyOS packages and the CachyOS kernel on my arch. So what it does is it speeds up your arch, it makes it way faster. So you're not turning it into CachyOS, you're just applying those two things. So let's get into it. Right, so luckily CachyOS actually made a script. So if you're not going to install CachyOS itself, you can just run this script to apply those settings to your own arch to make it better, work better and faster. Right, so here's the script. So all that you have to do is run this command. So this will basically just download the script, create the necessary folders so that you can run it. Right, but before you do that, I would advise that you back up your arts first, especially if it's not a new install and you've got other stuff on there, just back it up. So I usually just use TImeshift, sudo pacman -s TImeshift to install TImeshift. I back it up before I do something pretty big like this. Right, so let's run this command. So I'm running my own guide here. I'm just following my own guide here. So I'll post this in the description so that you can just follow it along. Right, so let's run that so that you can prepare everything. And now we can run the script sudo CachyOS repo.sh. Right, let's run that. Put in my password. And while that's running, let's just see. Yeah, so that's running. So what it does is it auto detects. Right, say yes there, and I think there's another yes. Is it going? Yeah. So what it does is it auto detects your CPU architecture, x86 64, either version 3 or 4. This is the newest version that most people has on their computers. And I'm still running version 2 because I'm using a very old Proxmox box. But yeah, that's just me. Right, and then it configures your pacman.conf file. It actually includes the CachyOS repositories in front of your default repositories. So when it reads the file, it reads the CachyOS repositories first, and it updates your packages with the CachyOS packages. Right, and then yeah, it does back up your pacman like I said, and then the GPG keys. Right. So as you can see here, this is all my all the stuff on my computer. This is just an initial upgrade, so you can just run that. Make an update. This is all the script still. So let that run, and then we'll come back when that is done. Okay, so that updates are done. Let's just clear the screen. Right, so let's check now if the script actually added those repositories in the pacman file. So all you have to do is go to sudo nano pacman.conf. Let's copy that. I forgot to make my text a bit bigger here. Sorry. It's a bit small. I got complaints. Password. Right, so this is your pacman file. Just scroll down to where your default repositories are. So it starts with this core. So all you have to do is paste the CachyOS repositories in front of them. So if we scroll down to section B, as you can see, it didn't add it to mine, so I have to manually add it. So all you have to do is run this command to see what version CPU you're running. So mine is obviously version 2, very old, but most people will fall in version 3 and 4 into these sections. So by running this command, let's just run it and see quickly. So what am I doing? Wrong commands. Let's do that. And as you can see, x86-64 v2, very old. So this optimization wouldn't help me much, but it will definitely help newer CPUs like version 3 and 4. Anyway, now that I know, let's just go back to my file. Right, and then you scroll down. This is just for AMD Zen 4, so you can read through that if you're running that architecture. Right, so here you can just basically just copy your version 3, 4, and there's version 4 for AMD. This is straight from the CachyOS website. So mine is 2, it's not a lot of lines for me there, but I'm gonna copy that. So copy your version and then put it right in front of the default repositories. So there's core, paste it right there. CachyOS mirror list. Right, and then you can just save it. Exit. So what the script should have done is add this automatically in your conf file and then create this mirror lists. As you can see here, this CachyOS version 3 mirror list. It's a separate file with the server path in them. And if it did not create the mirror list files as well, in my case it actually did, so that's good. Then you have to manually create them by just following these ones. So let's just see if it actually created the mirror list. So mine only needs the CachyOS mirror list, not the version 3 or 4. Right, so if I run that, see, it created it. It's not empty, so it definitely exists. So this is the default mirror list. Right, let's exit. So I don't have to worry in creating them, but if you didn't create it, you might want to rerun the script or just create them and put the server path in there. And then you have to just rerun your GPG keys as well. Anyway, but if it added all of those, let's go to the top quickly. So I gave you an example how it should look like, where to put it into the pacman file. So I've just included mine version 2. So now we can run these two commands. So after running the script, you must run a full system update to transition to the newly configured CachyOS packages. Now this will be this command. First we run sudo pacman-scc. So this is synchronization, well, whatever, and a cleaning commands. This will basically just clean out any packages that's not necessary. Don't really have to run it, but yeah, I think it's worth it. So say yes. So do you want to remove all files from cache and stuff like that? Yes again. Okay, it's done. And then you're going to update the package list. So you're not upgrading yet, just running that. So it's going to do that. And once that is done, you're going to run this main command, which will actually now transition your default packages into the optimized CachyOS packages. So let's run this one. This one might take a while because it's going to have to do all those work now. As you can see, it's a long list of stuff. Right, and that's the size of the file. So this is, it's not much on my arch. Well, there is actually quite a bit, but anyway, it's going to have to update all of that. Just say yes, and it will start. After that's done, we'll come back and move on. Okay, that seems to be done. Let's just quickly run this command here again, because I actually missed to see if I can see the CachyOS repo. Whoops. Cut and paste the wrong thing. Come on, let's copy that. Say yes. Yes. Okay, let's just run this updating command quickly. Ah, there it is. See, so whenever you're updating anything or upgrading anything, it should show your CachyOS repo here. So in your case, it should show version 3 or 4 here. Mine, because it's version 2, doesn't really show, just shows the default CachyOS repo. So make sure that is actually showing. Right, so if that's showing, that's fine. After this command that actually transferred, what I'm gonna say, upgraded your packages to optimize CachyOS packages. Let's do a full system upgrade now. And we'll see that CachyOS repo there again. Yeah, my copying is a bit weird. Okay, so sudo pacman-syu, just the normal upgrade. And there it is. So it is updated. Wants to update a few things. Let's do it. Yes. That should be a quick update. Yeah, right. So now we can, after you've actually optimized the packages, you can just install the CachyOS kernel now. So here is the command for installing the kernel: sudo pacman linux CachyOS and headers. So let's just copy that in. Let's clear this. Right. So this is gonna take a while too, because it is a kernel. So it's just gonna install that, and then we'll come back once that is done. Good. So it looks like the kernel is installed. So now we actually reboot the system. Oh, before I forgot, we don't reboot yet. Just after you install the kernel, run the, let me just think now. I'm blue screening now again. So install the kernel, then run the bootctl. Okay, yeah, now I know. God. Run bootctl status. So it depends on your bootloader what you need to do next. So let's just run the boot CTL to check what system I have. So I'm running systemd boot. So if you're running grub as your bootloader, you need to run this command just to edit your configuration. So this will edit your configuration so that it can boot the right kernel. If you're running systemd boot like this, you don't have to do anything. So that's good. Once you run that command, now you can reboot. Almost forgot, y'all. Anyway, let's reboot then. Right, once back in, let's just open a terminal and let's open my guide again, so that we can see if the kernel, the CachyOS kernel, actually installed. We can run uname. Oop. Okay. Let's just put you this side. Thank you very much. Yeah, my PC is slow because it's that old machine. So uname a -r. As you can see, it still shows the normal Arch kernel. So if it does that, then we need to register the newly installed kernels, and there is a command for that. Right, troubleshoot CachyOS kernel not booting. So if the CachyOS kernel did not boot, run this commands which will register newly installed kernels. Right, so we're gonna run that so that it can register things. Password. Okay, so after registering, we can do this step, but this is optional. So if you want to see the CachyOS name in your boot screen and not just the Arch Linux, you need to do this. So run this command. This will actually show your specific machine configuration file. So you're looking for this configuration file with a long number in front of it, .conf. That will be specific to your system. So what you want to do is you want to open that file. So sudo nano, obviously, so that we can edit it. Right, so open it. Then you just go to title, and then in title you can put in whatever you like. I'm obviously going to put in CachyOS. We can say Arch because it's not a pure CachyOS operating system. Arch CachyOS. Save that. Exit. And obviously we need to reboot now again. So once we've rebooted, oh, let's just reboot. Yeah, let's just reboot quickly. See if that will take. Okay, so now you can see that it says Arch CachyOS. There's my vanilla, my default kernel, Arch kernel. There's the CachyOS kernel. So let's boot with that. And then we're gonna check if it actually picked it up. Right, so let's open a terminal. Let's just open my browser as well. Just open on that side, please. Oh, this machine is way too slow. Way too slow. Really need to get a new machine for my Proxmox. Anyway, so it was a uname to check the kernel -r. So uname -r. Let's just make this bigger again. Whoa, that's a bit too big. And there it is. That's the version, and this CachyOS. So the kernel is definitely installed. So once you've run this CachyOS kernel for a couple of days and it seems stable, it didn't do any weird stuff, then you can actually just delete the other Arch kernel if you want to, or you can just leave it. Where is it now? Yeah. If you want to see the CachyOS, no. Where is it now? Is it gone now? Oh, is this cache? Oh yeah, right in front of me, obviously. So remove the old Arch kernel. It's just sudo pacman-r Linux header. So it will just remove it. So I'm not gonna remove it now. Doesn't take up that much space. And that will conclude it. So now you will definitely, if you have a newer CPU architecture, if you have one of the newer PCs, I mean all the way back to 2013, so you'll definitely have a computer that will benefit from this upgrade. Then your system will definitely be faster. So I would say anybody who's running Arch, just install the CachyOS kernel and the optimized packages. It's just better. So yeah, that's it. Good.